Alright guys, so it's been a couple months and we've been trying to get the ceiling boards up and the wall boards. And every time we try and put a board up, we realize that we need to add something else to the inside of the walls, like more electrical outlets and plumbing, the water system. So I'll basically show you what we've done with the plumbing. And you start out, you think, yeah, it's just going to be a water tank and you're going to flow some water into the trailer and it's going to have water. And then you realize you need hot water and cold water and catch valves and stop valves and tees and like sinks and fridge and everything, like 50 amenities. So it got real complicated. In general, this section right here sums up our plumbing. They aren't all exactly, oh god, where they're supposed to be. We still need to finish it and put the board up, but I'm going to show you how our entire plumbing system works from most upstream flowing through Bessie. So here we go. Alright, so the water system starts at this little inlet. We have a just garden hose little faucet on off with a male to female to female, so that we
female to female, right? The adapter on top
the male
of the
to female,
yeah.
So that when we plug it into a house or a city water, we can then plug the hose in to the entire water system. And today we're, for the first time, going to plug this in, run water, and see if all the pipes just start leaking everywhere. So the water will come in from the city water into this valve, go straight up into our main tank up there, which is 10 PVC 4-inch pipes that are glued together. And if you come over here, so the water will enter the main tank, which, this is the main tank. Oh geez. Bunch of 4-inch PVC pipes that are 10 feet long. And over on the far side, you can see where that city inlet is. And then the second pipe valve is the air inlet, so that water can drain the system and air will replace it. And then right here, we have two valves. This one is the main on and off water flow for the entire system flowing into the trailer. This second valve is the drain system for just the tank. So if we wanted to not trickle water through the entire trailer to drain it, we just close this one off, open this valve, and we have a little pipe going off to drain the entire main tank of 80 gallons. But if we just wanted to close the main tank off and drain these small pipes to keep them from freezing, then we can close off both of these valves and open this air intake right here, and that will let air into the small pipes so that this water below the main tank can drain, keep it from freezing, and we can hold the 80 gallons up here that will not be as likely to freeze. So the water will drain into here, and then I can walk you through what happens inside Bessie. Okay, so this is that first pipe coming in. This is the main water supply. And we also have a backup 25 gallons.
Box. Yeah, we've got this custom 25-gallon RV tank box from a site online that does custom sizes, plasticmart.com, I believe. And they do basically any size you could want, any dimensions. So we got a 25-gallon tank that fits perfectly in the space we have.
So this will be tucked up behind the cabinets, and this pipe will be attached to the fill for here. So main tank on the roof, backup tank right here.
Yeah, and the idea of a backup tank is just that if it is really cold for a really long period of time, which could happen, we want to still be able to have a running water supply, and we don't want to have to be draining that big tank, or if the whole big tank freezes, don't want to worry about that. So this is going to be totally inside, behind the insulation, or in front of the insulation, so it should stay a relatively reasonable temperature. So we have that as a backup.
So that water inlet is in here, and we fill that with a second city hose that can attach right here, but I'll get to that. Otherwise, the water will leave this tank from this drain right here and go up this pipe that is pulled by our water pump. It'll turn the corner, and so at this point, both tanks come together right here and flow in by the water pump. This is kind of gravity assisted, and this is just pulled up. There's a catch valve right here so that the main water tank doesn't just flow into the backup water tank when we don't want it to, and just, you know, we lose water and fill this tank for no reason. So catch valve, main water coming in together down here, filter, pump, which we just set up the electricity. Haven't screwed it into the wall yet, but
that's a switch.
Just a little on-off switch.
On-off, and this hooks directly. It's this pump is actually wired for 12 volt, and our electric system is standard house wiring 120 volt. So we had to get a little creative here. So we just hardwired this using a cigarette lighter and spliced two of those together, just a cigarette cable, and then that can plug directly 12 volt into our Goal Zero. We've tested it on its own, just running the pump dry, which you don't want to do, but we can do it for a couple minutes. Couple seconds. And the pump does work through this, so we're hoping it functions.
So we've got the main water coming in, the pump pulling all the water in. We have another catch valve right here to prevent the city water number 2 from just pumping water up through our little pump and damaging it by pushing water in the reverse direction. So the main tank's water come down here, and then we have city water in, tank water in, going to this T, and then from here, we also, have a pressure regulator, so that if the city water is too much pressure, we can regulate the pipe, the water pressure with this screw, and then we can see how much water pressure is coming in from the city so we don't damage these more delicate PEX fittings. City in, tank water in, T into the main trailer system, and we have a hot water inlet. This cold water goes to the hot water tank and becomes hot water, which then comes out as hot water into this copper pipe, and then will fit into the one part of it will go into the sink, and one part will go into this pipe that'll go over to the shower and washer dryer, so we have hot water in the garage back there. So this first T for hot water, second T for cold water into the sink, and then
oh, and you missed, we had a very initial T here that just goes back outside, so that if we are running off city water, that enables us to just have a hose outlet outside to water the garden.
Flowers.
Yeah, water the garden, feed the animals, whatever we need to do.
Yeah, so we have hot water in, hot water out, cold water in, cold water out, and both of those hot and cold will go back to the garage where the shower and washer and dryer are. Okay, so we have the city water from the house, full pressure going in here. You can see our first little leak, which is not important at all. It's just a little attachment here because my hands aren't strong enough to actually tighten this hose. But we're about to turn this on, and our first question is how much pressure is going to go straight up, and shouldn't really matter, into the main tank. And once I open this, we're going to fill water in the main tank for the first time. Okay, and here's the first test of the water system. Oh geez, so we got to check. So right now, the water...
I think I hear things.
Yeah, you can hear water flowing up the wall.
I think it's
Filling
filling.
the tank, and so we can need to check our first issue. And right now the system in the trailer is closed, but we need to check our first part. See if this is leaking. This is where the hose is coming in.
Is it leaking?
Oh, I can feel water.
Is it leaking?
Nope.
Good! Okay, so that's going up. Hopefully that one behind the board is not... Oh, well, that's just a pipe. So, yeah, the fitting is up on the roof. We don't have anything there. That's just a pipe.
Yeah, just want to see if it's dripping down. So that seems to be holding, which is great.
Let's go to the roof!
Our first,
to the roof,
valve of 20, I'm going around. Our first valve of 50 is not leaking. That's not leaking, but you can hear it filling with water.
Woo!
Stage 1 of 27 complete.
Go, 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 go!
So we're
to
over
the roof,
here.
to the roof, to the roof!
So I have my ear on our main tank, and I can hear a giant stream of water flooding this. And if it fills up before we're done, our little air outlet over there will start flushing water out and let us know it's full. We could maybe test it and see if this is coming out. Oh,
What'd you do?
I opened this one.
Is that the drain?
Yeah, and unfortunately right now our tank is designed to be lifted on the far corner so that all the water flows to this corner. But the way
Oh no, I see a drip.
the trailer's set up right now, it's the wrong direction, so all the water's pooling on the wrong side, but once it's full enough, it'll still work.
Well, we have identified one drip.
So things are going as planned. The main tank is currently filling, and you can see that it's working by that drain valve is working by draining things when we open it, which means water's going in the tank. We do have a couple little drips that are coming off our big tank PVC connections, but we can caulk them or seal them with a bunch of different things. So
Yeah, we've identified
it's
like
just a
3 or 4
test.
leaks so far, but not too bad. A lot better than expected, actually.